Well, Ben, I hope you have your crystal ball polished up.
I do. I just polished it up in the back.
Oh, good. Well, great. Well, let's just get started. I know you stepped into the top leadership role at Alaska at what would have been a really challenging time for anybody. Can you tell me what surprised you about the job, and are you doing things that you didn't think you'd be doing?
It's a great question. Yeah, I've been in the job 18 months, and I've been in Alaska almost 20 years, but I'm in the job 18 months. And when my predecessor, Brad, said it was time, he said, hey, I think the pandemic is behind us. And we were only like this is the last wave,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was 18 months ago, and but it's been, I don't want to say it's been great because it's been hard. But I look at where Alaska is today, and when I look at our financial stability, if I look at our balance sheet is back to pre-pandemic levels. I look at our second quarter performance. We had double-digit pre-tax margins. We're going to make good profit in the third quarter, double-digit pre-tax margins. We're going to make money this year. So the financial part of the business is coming back. When I look at our operation, we had over the last 3 months, we had the best completion rate in the country. We had the best on-time performance in the country. So there's just a lot of good things, that are happening. And so I feel good about where the company is. And I'm excited about all the new challenges we have with growth and hiring new people at the company. So there's just a lot of good things to be excited about.
And that's the perfect segue. I know labor has been a big issue during the pandemic. First, too many folks,
Right.
then maybe not enough. So how's recruiting been going, and are you running into any bottlenecks getting folks onboarded?
We've hired a ton of people. We've hired 6,000 people at Alaska, and so the hiring has been going good. But as everyone has experienced, when you're hiring that many people, the training schools are just full and chock-a-block full. So we've had a lot of success, and what I'll say is that on the labor side, we've signed agreements with our airport workers that are represented by the IAM. So we had a 2-year extension to 2026. We have a tentative agreement with our regional pilots from Horizon that's out for ratification. I'm positive with that, and with our mainline pilots at Alaska. There's good progress with negotiations. I think we're close. We're down to a handful of issues that I hope we can get resolved in the next little bit. So I feel good where we are with people and hiring. I'm not saying it's easy. I do think there's a pilot shortage. I see it acutely on our regional side with Horizon Air, and I think there's a lot of work. And we're investing in a pilot academy. We're investing in programs that we call True North, when we're trying to hire diverse pilots, BIPOC pilots from HBCUs, which I'm a board member on UNCF. So I feel good, but there's just a lot of work that's involved.
Well, you're rebuilding at a time when employees' attitudes towards their job may be changing. I think folks may have heard of this quiet quitting. So how do you manage through that? If folks, I know overtime, airlines had to some extent depended on folks being willing to take overtime. I know sometimes operations get thrown when new variants surface. So how do you manage through that? And do you think quiet quitting, these trends are temporary, or do you think that's sort of a permanent shift?
For sure, the pandemic has shifted the way people think about their jobs and where they work. I think for us, when we look at it as a leadership team, I think it's put more focus on us to make sure that our company has a sense of purpose and that we live by our values. I think people today are not only looking for a company that is flexible, that their quality of life fits with the company's, but I think they want a company that they feel that they're connected to with purpose and values. And I think that those are some of the messages that we hammer all the time at Alaska. We live by our values. We have a strong sense of purpose of what we do and why we do it. And so when we bring people in and we onboard people, when we interview people, we want them to know that who this company is all about. And I think that's the message. But in terms of being flexible, we've had to shift. We have to shift to say, look, it is a more flexible workforce. We want to be more mindful of people's personal lives, and that it needs to work with what's going on at work. And our teams, I think, are doing a good job. But people are coming back to the office. We're at least 3 days a week, 4 days a week at the office, but we are trying to be more flexible as well.
So have you thrown any, I know some companies, at the post, free food, free cookies or something. Do you have any incentives to get people to come in, or do you find that the mission is enough to draw them in?
You know, free coffee is always good. You know, no, we have snacks across the company, but no, I think what's more important is really people need to believe in the purpose of the company and the values, and they need to see leaders really lead by them. And I think if they see that, they feel more connected. You know, and I think you have to reach out to them and connect with as many people as you can.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, let's talk about another huge part of your business, customers,
Yeah.
right? How do you keep customers loyal when they can be fickle? I know loyalty can be really hard to earn and then really easy to lose.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Lori, we're fortunate in the Pacific Northwest. We have fierce loyalty to the Alaska brand, and I think we built that up through the years. And it's, you know, we believe in a few things. One, we believe that you have to run a great operation. People that fly you need to know you're reliable. And, you know, we have a history of operational excellence, and we focus that, we drill that to our team all the time. You know, secondly, I think you have to treat your guests really, really well. And I'm so grateful. We have 23,000 people. You know, our brand is built on care. You know, one of our values is being kind-hearted. And when I tell people who don't know us that one of our values is kind-hearted, they say, "Wow, an airline that's kind?" I said, "No, when we ask people at the company, you know, how do you think people perceive us? Well, you know, we're kind, we're caring. We hire people that have kind and caring personalities when we go through the interview process. So I think people want that. So they want a great operation. They want kind and caring, but also they want value. And I think our value through our loyalty program, our credit card, our network, especially out of the Pacific Northwest, we have a powerful network. You know, we fly to everywhere people want to go out of Seattle. And now with One World, which is fantastic, being part of One World, now we can connect our customers to, you know, almost, you know, 1,000 cities across the world, 150 countries, and the ability to accrue and redeem miles, having their elite status recognized. I think all of that I just talked about, you know, bleeds into loyalty. And I think you're right. You never ever take it for granted. We got to work on it every day. And if you make a mistake and you screw up, you got to apologize and say, we're going to do better.
You must be psychic, because I had a One World question.
Oh, really?
In here.
Okay.
Yes. So there we go. We've got that. Do you think the pandemic has changed what your customers expect in their flying experience?
You know, obviously through the pandemic, you know, there were a lot of things. You know, the mask mandate, and I mean, the behaviors were a lot different. I think going back today, I'm seeing more of a normalized trend than it was like before. So, like I said, I think we have to go back and say, you know, the one thing that's never going to change is people want airlines to be reliable. And I think for us, making sure that, you know, we operate when we say we're going to operate, we get them to their destination on time with their bags. And when they're doing it, if we provide great service and the entire value proposition that we have is good, I think those you can check off those expectations. And but I really think that for us, you know, connection with customers, that kind, caring service. I love that the masks are off, because for us it was a lot of, you know, our flight attendants are amazing. They connect with our customers, the eye contact, they chat with them. So the mask being gone now brings us back to what we did before, which is really, really great to see.
Yeah, that's true. Do you find, I guess, how do you balance? I know a lot of airlines have unveiled new technology that allows touchless, right? You don't necessarily interact with a person. You may do everything online at home or when you get to the airport. So how do you balance showing that you're caring with incorporating new technologies that are designed to speed people through?
You know, that's a great question, because we were just debating that. So I think what we look at is, where are the stress points in the travel journey? So one of the areas that we're trying to de-stress is, you know, for people that are traveling, whether you're traveling alone or you're traveling with your family and with kids, getting to the lobby, printing a bag tag, waiting in a line, dropping your bag off is probably the most stressful part of the journey, because all you want to do is get on the other side of security. Because once you're on the other side of security, your stress level comes down.
Yeah.
So we said is, look, this is, and you know, and with everything that's going on with, you know, travel coming back really, really quickly, you know, the lobbies are crowded. So we're trying to innovate around that. So we just introduced an electronic bag tag. So if you know, you have your boarding pass on the phone, you tap it, you've got an electronic bag tag right on your bag. We're trialing in San Jose self bag drop with biometrics, where you just show up with that electronic bag tag, drop your bag. It's a biometric, either you know, face or hand or fingerprint, and so you literally could be out of the lobby in less than a couple of minutes. And so, because what we want you to do is get you to the other side, where if you're a lounge member, you come to one of our lounges, or if you want to grab a cup of coffee, a drink, a bite to eat. So our goal is to de-stress the travel journey. And we know that's one of the big pieces. That's one of the pieces I'm excited about. So you're going to see us do a lot in the next 12 to 24 months around this.
Oh, good. I think, yes, everyone in this room can relate to passing through TSA security. Right? You're on your way.
Oh, yeah. Get to the lounge, have a drink. And,
yeah, and relax. I know sustainability has been a big theme here. So can you talk about some of the steps that Alaska is taking in that realm? I know about the boxed water. I've seen lots on that, but talk about some of the things you're doing there.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm excited about the sustainability journey. Everything we've done, and I've learned a lot over the last 24 months. And I'm an engineer, so I love this stuff, but I feel like I have a front row seat to our industry transforming around sustainability. And you know, Alaska, we've taken, you know, a two-pronged strategy. One is to be the most fuel-efficient airline by 2025. You know, our 100 and almost 50 Boeing MAX orders is going to help us get there. We're introducing like cool technology like Flyways, which is a San Jose-based technology company that's using artificial intelligence and machine learning on how we plan our flights. So we're saving 3 to 4 minutes per flight. We're saving gas. We're saving fuel. We created an investment arm called Alaska Star Ventures that's investing in emerging technology. So that emerging technology could be hybrid electric airplanes, it could be hydrogen-powered airplanes, but we're looking at this like 10, 20 years down the road. But in the short term, we're really focused on, and our whole industry is, but sustainable aviation fuels. You know, if you look at, you know, what needs to be done, I think the industry probably burns about 15 billion gallons of fuel a year. That's a massive amount. We're producing probably less than 1% today. And so if you look at what we need to get done in terms of sustainable aviation fuels, because that is something that you can use in today's technology. Nothing needs to change with airports, nothing needs to change with airplanes. All we need to do is produce it. So the new blender's tax credit that was introduced in the Inflation Reduction Act is going to help. But we got to do a lot more. It's just not enough. We need to produce enough sustainable aviation fuel to get the whole industry as close to net zero as we can. And that's a big, audacious goal.
I know the financials look good for Alaska, but do you have concerns about inflation, higher interest rates?
You know, it's, you know, I'm glad you asked that. It's funny because I watch CNBC in the morning and I watch one economist say, there's no way, we're not in a recession. The next person you see come on, the sky is falling. And, you know, so when we talk with our team, the best thing we do is think about, you know, how do we insulate ourselves from whatever happens? So if there's not a recession and it grows quickly, or if there's a recession and the economy slows down, you know, how do we weatherproof the company? So, you know, a couple of things we're doing is getting to a single fleet. We're going to be back to a single fleet of Boeing 737s. All our 320s will be retired by the end of this year. On the regional side will be one fleet of E-175s. Our Bombardier Q400s will be retired. So we're trying to simplify the business model, get our costs in check, and be able to pivot on whether the economy picks up or slows down. But those are some of the things that we're thinking about as we go.
See, it's back to that crystal ball, isn't it?
And yeah, you don't have it. And if there's anybody in the audience that thinks that they know, I'd love to hear. But yeah, it's just tough to predict. And look, fuel prices are still, you know, really high, and yeah, it's tough to predict.
Well, it looks like we're up against time, so thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you all. Thank you, Carol, and everyone at the Chamber that has worked so hard on this event.
Thank you so much.